All right, next question. We have a prospect that is determined to experiment for 3 months with our station before they commit to a full 52-week bonding campaign.
Ooh, okay.
All this even after an upfront conversation about the effectiveness of long-term advertising and the required time of minimally 6 to 12 months to see realistic results. Long-term purchase cycle category. Conveniently for them, this experimental campaign length coincides nicely with the early chickening out period, letting them off the hook easy for them to stop advertising after 3 months. Yeah, I tried radio once, doesn't work. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Should we drive our flag into the ground of 12 months or nothing with this potential client and move on, or take the 3 months of radio and pray earnestly for at least some level of response that gives them enough confidence to continue the full year of advertising? Calgary.
Yeah, so if this was me, and this is Roy's forte, I mean, this is
Yeah.
everything. So I'm blindly going up against one of the best in the world on my suggestion here on this exact scenario. Hang on a second. I would say this is all about the upfront agreement, right? And so what you're not trying to prove is that long-term branding works in 3 months. You got to walk away from that, but you have to say that. If I was sitting down and say, look, okay, the restriction you've given me, it eliminates the ability to use radio the way I would prefer to use radio, because that's long-term branding. The radio is relational long-term branding.
Yeah, the way that's been proven to be most effective long-term.
The highest and best use of radio is long-term branding. And if you want a 3-month guarantee, that's off the table. So what I'm about to write, however, I think we can make a success for your business. It won't be to do what we should be doing. But if you're giving me a 3-month window, then we need to use the 3-month window in the highest and best use of a 3-month window. And if I remember Roy correctly, what he would have done in that situation is an incredible offer, right? This is what he's done with people who came to him with like, I don't have hardly any money.
Yeah,
he's like, let's spend it all in one day.
Yeah.
Right? Like the yogurt guys.
Yeah, and make it irresistible.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, let's first explain that what I'm about to do is not what I would ever do if you stick with us. We change the plan if you stick with us. But if you really want us a success in 3 months, then we can do that. Here's how we do it. It's an offer that drives traffic to the store so dramatically, then all we're proving is that people are listening to the radio. That's all we're proving. Now, once we've proven people actually listen to the radio, then please will you trust me to write a long-term campaign that will take time to pay off, because we've already addressed your primary concern. People are listening.
Yeah.
And that offer can only be as ballsy as the owner is. It can't be like a 10% coupon if you mention Cave UT.
Yeah.
Right? It's got to be like, I don't know. I mean, Roy did free cones all day long.
All day.
Open to close.
Yeah.
With the restaurant, he did like free lunch or something like that. I mean, it was like some crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be like legitimate, like you generate word of mouth that goes so much farther than the advertising on a really good deal.
Yes, it proves like people who don't ever respond to radio but listen to radio are like, son of a bitch.
Well, I'd drive over
I'll
there
do
for
that. And then you find all the people who you never knew were listening to radio showing up at that location.
Oh, yeah.
But it has to be said, this is not the best use of radio, but we will prove you people are listening.
Yeah, and so look, I've not talked with this potential client. I don't know what the vibe or context is, but I wouldn't assume like nobody wants to spend money on a 3-month campaign and hope it doesn't work so that they don't have to keep spending. I mean,
they want to be proven wrong.
Yeah, unless are you blackmailing them to sign a contract? Like they don't want to be proven wrong. They actually want it to work. So just lead with that.
Yeah.
Don't, but they're nervous. That's it. That's a lot of money.
I would be.
And if they've never tried it before, they need a little faith strengthener. Like, you're the professional. You do this day in and day out. You know it works. They don't yet. Help them transfer that confidence to them.
I was about to say exactly that sentence. This is a transfer of confidence.
It's a transfer of confidence. That's all. So what can you do within the window that the parameters of the problem that they've given you to transfer confidence to them?
And the other reason I would say to set your guidelines is because if it blows the doors off, they need to realize that when they're like, okay, we're here with you now, that we're not going to do that every 3 months.
Yeah.
Like that is cocaine.
Yeah.
The impact lessens every time, right? And
Yeah,
so
you gotta have that conversation too.
yeah, you got to say, we
before.
will not do this again because this is not a long-term sustainable strategy. Yeah.
Yeah. And why? Well, because we're actually interested in your business being healthy and growing.
Right.
Like, that's why. If we only cared about selling Adio's airtime, I had like two versions of a sentence combining. If we were only interested in selling airtime, we would get you hooked on cocaine and then just keep selling it to you, even though we know it's going to work less and less.
Yeah.
Well,
And then a year and a half from now, it's not going to have any impact, and
Yeah.
you're going to be like, the radio didn't work anymore.
yeah. So we're interested in long term. Anyways, that's all. It's just a transfer of confidence, and it's give them the benefit of the doubt. They don't want it to fail.
Right.
Roy's answer. It's time to cheat. Cheat. Convince him to make a compelling offer for a limited
Okay.
time. Make sure it's good enough offer to get people to go ahead and buy now instead of waiting until later.
Right.
It's all about the offer. Fight hard for a strong one. Your future depends on it. The campaign won't be sustainable, but you'll have proven your point.
Yeah. I feel pretty confident about that now.
Cheers.